Yes, Ravens fans, something happened that immediately got people talking, and honestly, we need to discuss it. We all know the quarterback position is the most important position in football, and when it comes to the Baltimore Ravens, every conversation eventually comes back to Lamar Jackson. But this time, it wasn't about a game or a big play. It was a ranking that left a lot of people wondering what is really going on. ESPN released a list showing how many first-round picks some of the NFL's biggest quarterbacks would be worth, and the numbers surprised everyone. Some fans believe it's just another offseason debate, while others see it as yet another sign that Lamar Jackson continues to be overlooked by the national media. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Lamar Jackson gets the respect he truly deserves around the league, or do you think these rankings are fair? Leave your opinion in the comments because I really want to know where Ravens Nation stands. And if you've been supporting the Baltimore Ravens for more than 15 years, hit that like button with pride. Go Ravens! Let's talk about why this latest ESPN ranking has so many fans frustrated. So here's what happened. ESPN NFL shared a graphic asking how many first-round draft picks certain quarterbacks would be worth if they were traded. Right away, Josh Allen was listed as being worth 7 first-round picks. That's an incredible amount of value, but considering the level he's played at over the past several seasons, plenty of people could understand the argument. Then Ravens fans naturally expected to see Lamar Jackson receive a similar evaluation. After all, we're talking about one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks, a player who has consistently changed games with both his arm and his legs, and who continues to be one of the biggest challenges any defense has to prepare for. Instead, the graphic listed Lamar Jackson as being worth only 2 first-round picks and more. That immediately caught the attention of Ravens fans because when the list continued, things became even more surprising. Joe Burrow was listed at 4 first-round picks. Jaden Daniels received 3 first-round picks and more. Caleb Williams was also valued at 4 first-round picks. Even though each of those quarterbacks has tremendous talent, seeing Lamar Jackson valued below several of them instantly created another round of discussion about whether the national media continues to undervalue what Baltimore's quarterback brings to the field. For many Ravens fans, this wasn't really a surprise anymore. Instead, it felt like another chapter in a conversation that has followed Lamar Jackson throughout his entire NFL career. Every offseason seems to produce another debate, another ranking, another television segment, or another headline questioning where he belongs among the league's elite quarterbacks. The discussion doesn't stop with trade value either. Another topic mentioned was the recent Madden quarterback ratings. Lamar Jackson reportedly received a 94 overall rating, while Joe Burrow came in at 97. While a 94 is still an excellent rating, some Ravens fans questioned why there would be such a noticeable gap, especially considering the different circumstances surrounding each quarterback. That became another example used by supporters who believe Lamar continues to receive less recognition than his level of play deserves. The conversation also extended to rankings from NFL scouts, where Lamar was reportedly placed 5th among quarterbacks. Again, the issue wasn't necessarily that 5th is a poor ranking. Rather, it was which quarterbacks appeared ahead of him. Supporters argued that when you evaluate overall production, athletic ability, leadership, and everything Lamar has accomplished for Baltimore, there is a strong case that he deserves to be viewed higher. Then there were the television debates. According to the discussion in the file, there were recent media segments suggesting extremely controversial opinions involving Lamar Jackson, including conversations questioning his standing among NFL quarterbacks. Those comments only added fuel to the ongoing belief among many Ravens fans that national sports media often creates controversial takes involving Lamar because they know those opinions generate attention and discussion. And that's really one of the biggest themes that emerged throughout the conversation. The argument wasn't simply that people dislike Lamar Jackson. Instead, the belief expressed was that controversial opinions create engagement. They create debates. They generate clicks, comments, television ratings, and social media interaction. Whether people agree or disagree almost becomes secondary because the conversation itself keeps everyone talking. Another point that came up involved the NFL Top 100 rankings. Once again, there was frustration over where Lamar appeared compared to several other players. Supporters questioned how someone who plays such a central role in Baltimore's success could continue to receive what they believe is less recognition than he deserves. Still, despite all the criticism coming from outside Baltimore, there was also a sense of confidence. One fan shared an optimistic prediction for the upcoming season, imagining a year where Lamar Jackson completely silences every critic. The projection included Baltimore becoming one of the NFL's top teams, Lamar putting together another MVP-caliber campaign, and the Ravens entering the playoffs as the AFC's #1 seed. The prediction went even further. It envisioned Lamar throwing for around 4,000 passing yards, reaching 40 touchdown passes and leading an offense featuring 2 players surpassing 1,000 rushing yards. It also imagined Baltimore eventually defeating Buffalo in the AFC Championship before capturing another Super Bowl championship for the city. Of course, those are predictions rather than facts, but they reflected the confidence many Ravens fans have entering the season. The feeling is that despite all the outside noise, Baltimore still possesses one of the league's most dangerous quarterbacks and one of its strongest overall rosters. The discussion also shifted toward another important topic, the Ravens' wide receiver room. One fan shared detailed expectations for how the depth chart could develop throughout the season. The prediction began with Zay Flowers continuing to establish himself as Baltimore's clear #1 receiver while proving doubters wrong through greater consistency and increased production, especially in the red zone. Then came one of the boldest predictions. The suggestion was that Rashad Bateman could eventually be traded after the season begins if things don't work out. That possibility sparked discussion because such a move would likely require several circumstances to unfold. The conversation emphasized that for a trade like that to happen, Bateman would probably need to struggle significantly while younger receivers stepped forward and forced the coaching staff to make difficult decisions. Several young receivers were mentioned as possible contributors, including Jacoby Lane, T.Z. Walker, Elijah Roberts, LaJohntay Wester, and Dayton Wade. The discussion highlighted the belief that Baltimore has several young players who could compete for opportunities if they continue developing throughout training camp and the regular season. One player receiving particular attention was LaJohntay Wester. The discussion noted that he has reportedly been receiving opportunities both as a receiver and as a return specialist, creating excitement about the potential impact he could make on special teams while also contributing offensively. At the same time, there was still hope that Rashad Bateman would rediscover the form that made him a first-round selection. Rather than wanting to see him leave Baltimore, the overall feeling was that everyone would rather see him succeed, regain consistency, and become an important part of the offense once again. Perhaps that's what makes this entire conversation so interesting. Whether it's ESPN's trade value graphic, quarterback rankings, video game ratings, television debates, or off-season predictions, nearly every discussion eventually circles back to Lamar Jackson. Very few quarterbacks in today's NFL generate this level of constant conversation. Every ranking becomes a debate. Every opinion creates headlines. Every prediction divides fans and analysts alike. Meanwhile, inside Baltimore, the focus remains much simpler. Win football games. If the Ravens accomplish that, many fans believe every ranking, every graphic, and every controversial television segment will eventually become irrelevant. Individual opinions can change from week to week, but victories on the field are much harder to argue against. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Lamar Jackson continues to be undervalued by national media outlets, or do you think these rankings simply create off-season conversation? And what are your expectations for the Ravens this season? Can Baltimore finally turn all of this discussion into another Super Bowl run? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, go Ravens! Would be worth if they were traded. Right away, Josh Allen was listed as being worth 7 first-round picks. That's an incredible amount of value, but considering the level he's played at over the past several seasons, plenty of people could understand the argument. Then Ravens fans naturally expected to see Lamar Jackson receive a similar evaluation. After all, we're talking about one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks, a player who has consistently changed games.